I am with Everything Everything, or at least Alex and John from Everything Everything.
Hello there.
Welcome,
Hello.
gents. How's life?
The better half you've got here.
Exactly. I've done well. Well done me. Thank you very much for popping in to see us. And indeed, thank you for today. We're really excited about the session.
Thanks for having us.
Well, anytime. How's life at the minute? You're on tour anyway, right? So you're sort of in the giggish frame of mind.
We're about a third of the way in, I think, at the moment. We've got to go to Birmingham tonight, actually. So.
Okay. And how's it been going so far? Because I read that it sold out quite quickly.
It's sold out, which is crazy, which has never happened to us before, I don't think.
I think it's the first time we've gone on a tour knowing that it was going to be sold out before we, ventured into it. But
does that kind of change the dynamic of being there? Do you feel a bit like, I don't know, I suppose you'd feel, not that you're kind of selling it, tickets as you go, but like you feel like, yeah, we're all friends. Everybody's decided to come and it's a thing that's happening.
It's our time finally, and everyone's here to get behind us, and it feels really, really good. Especially the album's just come out, and it feels like a new sort of stage for us.
It feels a lot more relaxed when the audience know the songs and they sing along and things like that. It's quite exciting.
That's lovely. I mean, it's the second album is, as people say, the cliche is the difficult second album, but it doesn't sound like that art was that way for you. It hasn't been like that.
I think the difficult second album myth comes from, well, it's not a myth, but I think quite a lot of the time, if a band's really successful and they kind of get a bit hurried to do the second one because people want to capitalise on it. And our first album wasn't like a big bang, it was kind of a slow burner, and I think that gave us a lot more time to get to write the second one properly, and we didn't feel rushed, which I think can happen quite a lot with bands. And
it wasn't the easy second though either.
It wasn't that easy, but it wasn't hard.
Really?
I think
what was it like?
It's going to be difficult third album, I think, for us.
All right, well, we'll enjoy this one while it lasts. So I read that you'd said that you'd grown up a little bit between the first record and this. Can you tell me what you mean by that, or how that
definitely.
happened?
I mean, a first album is... you start writing it as soon as you write songs, ever. So, you keep your best ones from when you're 15, if you know what I mean. And so there's a huge period of writing that goes into it, and then you've got like the 2 or 3 years that come afterwards, and you can just say goodbye to all the old stuff, all the stuff that your fans first heard you for, and what got you signed, and all the stuff that's like old. That's all gone then. Everything's new, and so we came to it in quite a different way, really, because we were just that bit older. We'd had those few extra years of touring experience, and we wanted to change quite a few things about our past, really.
Oh, really?
Well, in a way, I think we just were a lot more confident. I think the first time round, everything was about trying to distract people so they didn't really know who we were. It was kind of, you couldn't understand the lyrics, you couldn't understand the music a lot of the time. Everything was kind of all in your face, trying to sort of distract and surprise people. And this time we wanted to make it more of an emotional connection, really. So we slowed down a bit, and we thought things through more.
Didn't just fill up every space with weird sounds.
But it also sounds like that's quite a brave move, because there's an element of kind of putting yourself on the line, or at least your heart on your sleeve.
Yeah, definitely, especially with me being the lyricist and the singer and everything. Beforehand, I could just go on stage and say a load of stuff. I knew what it was about, and a lot of people didn't. And now it's a lot more obvious, and it's a lot more me on show. And
I think more people can sort of sing along now and grasp hold of the melodies a bit more than before.
Okay.
Musically, it's just having the nerve to just play a nice song and not worry about it. We think this is good, we're going to play it now. And we used to overthink things so much, and that we should make this more interesting here, and this is boring here. And
but that's also isn't that the confidence that comes with kind of being successful? Because the first record was so well received. At first, you're kind of showing who you are and creating a thing and making sure that everybody gets your thing, and then they go, oh yeah, we do, we like it, and here it, as you say, it kind of becomes this great kind of cumulative success, gets Mercury nominated, everything. What was the brief going in? Were you a little bit nervous about following that up when you had done so well?
Not really. I think you've kind of got to ignore the results we gained.
I think we had a lot of critical praise, I think, when the first record came out, but it didn't feel like it was like a huge public success. It felt like we'd made like a really small, unique club, and a few people being let into it. And I think with this new album, we just wanted to open that up a bit more and just, try to connect with the wider audience without changing ourselves too much.
Do you think that being, in Manchester and kind of part of a group of friends who are in bands, and you get a lot of support from that, and that helped on that score?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we felt we were coming up at the same time as, Dutch Uncles, Delphic, Egyptian hip hop, a few other bands, all kind of coming around the same time, and they were all doing something different, not the classic Manchester sound by any means. And that felt really good to have that support and to have that kind of knowledge that other bands were thinking like we were thinking.
And how do you categorise it? Because, you know, having had like Dutch Uncles in just a couple of weeks ago, and you met all those bands on the show, it is a particular kind of quality to the music, which is something about kind of like a love of pop, and also but a very ambitious, you know, very kind of full sound. Where do you think that comes from?
Well, I can't speak for those other bands, but I know with our band, it's a well, I don't know anything actually about my band.
But what I think is...
Yeah, I think, well, I've called it Bizarre and B for quite a while. I kind of like the idea of it coming from Beyonce, but then, you know, transfer to Manchester and you get what we do essentially, but with Radiohead sort of overlooking it with canes in their hands. But, I mean... Who knows?
I love it. Bizarre and B, I could definitely go with that. So on that score, what are we going to enjoy today? What's in the set? You've got 7 tracks to play. There's going to be 6 on the radio and then 1 extra special one for our online viewers afterwards. Was it tricky to decide which tracks to do?
It was tricky. So tricky, I'm not even sure what we're doing.
Yeah, I'm a bit lost actually to what we're going to be playing.
We're definitely playing Schooling, Kemosabe, Cough Cough. Suffragette.
All the hits.
Yeah.
All the hit. That's what we want.
Yeah.
It's going to be great. Okay, well, you've got, like, I'm just looking, 44 minutes to work out a final set list.
No.
We'll let you go back through to MV3. Thank you very much. Everything. We'll see you very shortly.